I've got some bad news to share all of a sudden. My wife Alice is cheating on me. I've suspected for a while, but it was confirmed by a tip-off from an acquaintance. Sorry to spring this on you, but I'll be out of town on business this weekend. Another business trip? Aren't there a lot of them recently? I'm sorry, I didn't plan on it. You know that junior colleague I always talk about, the young woman? The one you're mentoring? Yeah, that's right. She really insisted, so I couldn't help but... It's good to be respected by your juniors, but it's a problem if they like you too much. Indeed, it's nice, but a bit of a bother. Well, it can't be helped. But I think work will settle down a bit soon. Then let's all go on a trip or something. Let's invite our parents too. That sounds good. I hope we can go. We can do it. I want to go to a hot spring or something. A hot spring sounds nice. Don't push yourself too hard, okay? Yes, thanks. Oh, the business trip is for 2 days and 1 night, so I'll need you to look after the house. Don't live unhealthily just because I'm not there, okay? Be careful not to drink too much. Understood. You have to clean properly, okay? I know, I'm an adult. That's right, so I'm going back to work. Okay, take care. Almost impressed in a way. But now that I know the full story, I have no intention of staying silent. I've also informed our parents about the situation, asking for their cooperation. This is the start of my revenge. I just finished work and got to the hotel. That's good to hear. How are you? Are you keeping well? Are you eating properly? More or less. Any problems? Are you okay? There might be a problem. Huh? What happened? By the way, where are you staying? I'm staying at a place called the AM Inn in the next state. You never ask about my accommodation. Why are you asking now? The AM Inn in the neighboring state, huh? Yeah. What a coincidence. I'm visiting that inn too. Huh? What? What are you talking about? Jeremy, didn't you say you were at home? But I was bored on my day off without you. I suddenly got the idea, you know. It's so sudden. Look, you haven't seen your parents in a while either. I thought we could do a bit of a good deed for them by taking a breather at the inn. Wait, what? Huh? My parents? Oh, I see you're at the same inn. What a coincidence. Hold on a minute. What do you mean? Nothing more, nothing less, just what I said. My parents are at this inn with Jeremy? Yeah, they are. Right now, as we speak? Yep, that's right. You've got to be kidding. That's good for you. You've been wanting to take a trip with your parents too, right? No, I meant not now. After work, you can spend some time together. So, where's your room? Huh? Oh, well, I'm still at work. You said you just got to the inn after finishing work, right? How about we have dinner together? I was thinking of maybe not staying at that inn. Why? The company I had a meeting with is a bit far away. I was thinking of maybe switching to a nearby hotel for tonight. Huh? But you're already at the inn, right? Why bother moving now? Well, that's true, but also not really. What's that supposed to mean? Anyway, where's your room? I'll bring your parents-in-law with me. Let's see, where was it? What? You forgot? Yeah, that's right, I forgot. I've been so forgetful lately. Huh? Then I'll go ask the front desk. They're your parents and I'm your husband. They might tell me if I ask. But it might be a privacy issue. Look, I can't prove that I'm family. Well, there's that possibility, but it doesn't cost anything to ask. Maybe if I show them this chat, they'll tell me. Wait, hold on a second. I'll be waiting. Jeremy, hold on. I said hey. room with her parents-in-law. When I got to the door, my wife and her lover conveniently came out panting. Were you trying to escape? Her parents were furious at the sight, and after a lot of commotion, my wife was taken back to her parents' house. About yesterday. It was a misunderstanding. That person is a senior at my company. He was just standing in for a junior who couldn't come. Are you still saying that? It's true, believe me. No, there's no way I can believe that. First of all, why do you think I suspected you of having an affair? Because of a hunch? I heard it from one of your colleagues at work. Who? I'm not gonna tell you that. No, there's a traitor, a backstabber. From my perspective, you're the only one who betrayed anything. Oh, by the way, I've sent a certified letter to your company about this. Why? The company has nothing to do with it. You should have sent it to me. Your affair started at the company, happened at the company, and involved a coworker. You're terrible. What are you gonna do if I get fired? That's just karma. My parents are pissed too. Of course they are. If their daughter was cheating while pretending to work, even I'd be angry. That doesn't mean you had to bring them. Oh, so you're admitting to the affair. That being said, let's get a divorce. No, wait. Don't you think you should hear me out a bit? Like what? I was lonely, Jeremy. You were always working and never paid attention to me. You never took me anywhere. So I cheated with him instead of you. And? I'm sorry, I won't cheat ever again. I don't want a divorce. Is that your excuse? Excuse? I'm apologizing. Can't you forgive me a little? If it was the first time, maybe. I would have considered it. What do you mean? You think I don't know anything. What? I haven't done anything. Then why has the joint savings account been significantly reduced? How do you plan to explain that? Well, that's due to various circumstances. Various circumstances, huh? What were you spending $50,000 on every month? I had various needs. What kind of needs? You work. You should have savings, right? The savings were spent on your other affair partner, right? What? And then, when his wife found out about it, you reluctantly paid her alimony from her joint savings, right? How do you know about that? I thought you were cheating, but I never thought you had two affair partners. And one of them was a double affair. Pathetic. But I've properly dealt with that now. And I apologized properly and paid the alimony. Where did you get the money for that alimony? From my savings, right? Yet you talk as if you paid it yourself. Well, but it's joint savings. Even though it's Jeremy's money, it's also my money. How much did you contribute to that joint savings? Huh? 90% of that savings is mine, isn't it? That can't be. Look at the bank book. How many months did you deposit the amount we initially agreed upon? But I didn't have enough money. You could just deposit it on payday. If I calculated the amount for last month's card, it's impossible. If the card stops working, it's a problem, right? So... I see. You were spending so much on your affair, you didn't have money to save. You don't have to put it like that. But that's the truth. It might be. Either way, I can't go on like this. What do you mean you can't? Continue this marriage with you. No way. You're okay without any property division, right? Since you don't have any savings. Oh, but I will be demanding compensation for this affair. And you'll need to repay the compensation. I've been paying out of my savings. Wait a minute. I don't understand when you say it all at once. Please explain it a little slower. I'll have a lawyer formally request it later. If you don't understand something, you can ask then. A lawyer? Why does it come to that? Jeremy, you should be the one to explain it to me. Besides, since I'm divorcing due to an affair, I need it for the compensation claims and paperwork. Wait, listen to me. I listened to you earlier. It was all excuses and lies, though. Wait. Of my in-laws, I managed to get her to agree to all the conditions and we got divorced. Afterwards, my ex-wife was sanctioned by the company and was transferred to a remote location. Jeremy, I'm really sorry. I regret it. What are you talking about all of a sudden? About hurting you, Jeremy. I don't care anymore. So, I have a favor to ask. I'm willing to face the shame. I don't really want to hear it. Please listen. I'll listen. Go on. Actually, I'm pregnant. Congratulations, then. It's your child. What? There's no mistake. I'm pregnant with your child. Say something. Are you trying to lie again and scam money from me? You're not remorseful at all, are you? Don't say things like that. It's definitely your child. My child, huh? Are you what, the Virgin Mary? What's that? What do you mean? What do I mean? We haven't properly met in these 3 months, right? Even before that, rather than a married couple for the past year, our life was more like mere roommates. If you're really pregnant, the father must be someone else. But there's a 1 in a million chance. 1 in a million, huh? Don't you remember anything else? I don't remember. It's more like... Does that mean you've cheated so much you don't remember? That's terrible. It's a lie. It's a lie, isn't it? It's just a misunderstanding by you, isn't it? If you think so, why not try a DNA test? There's something called prenatal testing now, right? If you're that confident, it's worth a try, right? Wait a minute. Is it really not? This is a joke, right? Unlike you, I don't like such jokes. You know that, right? So contact me if you want to test it. Wait, just wait a minute. Is there anything else? Help me. Help you with what? Be the child's father. I think you're kind and would be a good father. No way. Even if I'm not the real father, you want me to take care of your child? Do you mean that you want me to give you my life? That's not it. As a former couple, isn't it okay for you to help me a little? Help a wife who cheated and divorced raise her child? That's absurd. It's a lie. What? Because there's no child. Come back to me. You're too emotionally unstable, incoherent. Please, be my husband again. You're the only one left for me. Please, please. No matter what you say, it's impossible. I'm going to live my own life. You should live yours happily. After that, I received several texts of teary pleas from her. I was relieved when the contact ceased for a while, but I heard that she had another affair at the workplace she was transferred to and was transferred again. Of course, her affair was discovered by the wife and she was fleeced for compensation. Piling debt on top of debt, I wonder what she plans to do.
Hannah, what on earth were you thinking?
Huh? What's up, sis? Is something wrong?
Is something wrong?
Oh, I see. It's your wedding anniversary next month, isn't it? There's a really good cake shop newly put up near the station, so let me give you guys a present next month.
You're always so kind and thoughtful, aren't you? I used to be so proud of you, but now you're just a little backstabber.
Whoa, hold on. Seriously, what's going on? I have no idea what you're talking about.
You're having an affair with my husband, aren't you? Dan finally confessed to me about it.
Huh?
Do you care to explain yourself? Why were the two of you cheating on me?
Oh, I see. Dan told you everything, did he? Well, I guess there's no point in me hiding it anymore. As Dan told you, we're dating.
Wow. I didn't expect you to admit to it so easily.
Why not? I mean, we've already been dating for about 6 months.
I can't believe you would get involved with your own sister's husband like that. Do you have any idea what you've done?
Oh, please don't misunderstand me. I may have chosen to date Dan, but it has nothing to do with him being your husband.
What are you saying?
I'd still be dating Dan regardless of whether he was your husband or not. No matter whose husband he was, I'd take Dan from anyone.
Is this supposed to be you saying how much you like Dan?
Rather than liking him, how about loving him? I don't think there's anyone who's a more perfect match for me.
You can't be serious.
I mean, Dan's just such an amazing person. His yearly income is $140,000 and he works for a top-class trading company. Until recently, I had thought he was just an ordinary office worker. But he really is the person who knows most often says least kind of guy, isn't he?
You've got to be joking.
He has a great job and salary. He's truly a worthy husband for me. He's wasted on such a plain-looking girl like you, sis.
Are you serious? So he's too good for me? But you're perfect for him. Is that it?
Yep, exactly. Dan deserves someone like me as his wife. Don't you think?
No! Are you serious?
After all, I did come first place in a beauty pageant during college. I'm super popular at work, and there's no shortage of guys who want me. Of course, I can do my job too, which makes me smart. Someone as perfect as me is clearly the superior choice.
You would be perfect, if it weren't for your non-existent morals.
Yet even so, Dan says that he loves me. I'm sorry that I have to tell you this, sis, but Dan even told me he was sick of seeing your ugly face.
How dare he?
An ugly, unremarkable girl. Or a beautiful, perfect girl. Anyone would choose me, don't you agree? So cheer up, sis. There's nothing to feel down about.
I thought we were always close, but I guess that's what you've always thought of me.
Anyway, you should divorce Dan as soon as possible so I can marry him.
Hannah has been pushing me to divorce you. She didn't even apologize for what she did. I told you. We're in love with each other. You and I have no choice but to divorce now. But getting divorced right after putting your mother in a nursing home? As your wife, I have supported both you and your mother financially. But I guess that after getting all of that money out of me, I can just be discarded, huh? Oh, come on. Putting her in a nursing home is a complete coincidence. I just happened to run into your beautiful sister once again right after putting my mother in that nursing home. Since then, we've been able to date without any problems. Yeah, what a coincidence. I haven't been able to stop thinking about how beautiful she is ever since you introduced me to Hannah way back when. But I never thought that I would ever get to date her. And the fact that you're willing to let us marry is the best. It seems that whatever I say is pointless. Fine then. If you love each other that much, I'll agree to the divorce. Really? However, I need you to pay me back everything that you owe me. That includes my share of the assets, as well as properly compensating me with a settlement. Oh, come on. That much is to be expected, right? Once you've paid it all back, I'll divorce you right away.
Listen, sis, I already heard from Dan. He said that because you two are still arguing about the settlement, you haven't divorced yet.
Yeah, Dan is hesitant to pay me back. Since you'll need money for your new life together, he says that he can only pay me back $7,000.
Okay, well, how much exactly did you spend supporting him?
$35,000.
$35,000? You're gonna take that much money from Dan? Even when he already spent $14,000 supporting me?
It's bad enough he cheated on me, but within my own family? My emotional pain is just that great.
Here we go. You just want to squeeze as much money out of him as possible, don't you? Especially since Dan earns $140,000 a year.
What are you talking about?
Even though you're already getting more than enough from the assets alone, you want an additional $35,000 in settlement money? I never knew you were so greedy, sis.
This isn't me being greedy, it's just what's fair.
Fine, whatever. $35,000 will be enough for you to divorce Dan then. I'll try to convince him to pay you back. I'll tell him that he doesn't need to worry about the future and to just pay your settlement as soon as possible.
Oh, you'll really help me?
Of course! If I don't, I won't be able to marry him no matter how long I wait.
That's a big help. As long as he agrees to pay back what he owes me, I can even submit the divorce papers today.
A $35,000 settlement is nothing as long as I can marry Dan. I'll be living in his high-rise condo thanks to his yearly salary of $140,000. And even if he has no savings, that's more than enough to live on.
What do you mean? Living in a high-rise condo?
Yep. Once I marry Dan, we're gonna move into your high-rise condo together. Move out as soon as you submit the divorce papers, okay?
Seriously?
I can't wait to live in the top floor of a high-rise condo. I still remember how I felt when I saw it for the first time. It's unforgettable.
Just hold on a minute. I don't recall you ever visiting our house. Are you sure you aren't mistaken?
Oh, you probably don't know. You were sick in bed with a fever that day.
You've got to be kidding me.
Since we had way more Christmas desserts than we needed, so Mom asked me to give you some. But to think that you were living in the top floor of a high-rise condo! I was so surprised!
Ah, I see.
But since you were in bed with a fever, it was Dan who opened the door for me. So invigorating! It was love at first sight.
Hold on a minute. You aren't seriously saying that that's when you two started dating?
I just slipped in quietly and enjoyed some tea together with him. Then, as I was leaving, he confessed how he felt about me.
You've got to be kidding me. While I was in bed sick with a fever. I can't believe you two did that in my home.
Well, that place will be ours soon anyway. Then I shouldn't have to worry about anything.
What are you talking about?
Oh, Dan already told me. He paid you the $35,000 settlement right away, just like I told him to.
Wow, already?
Check your account. It just shows how soon he wants to marry me. He's not interested in you at all anymore.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's more fitting for someone beautiful like me to live with such a high-earning guy in that high-rise condo. Since you're so ugly, a poor guy would be a much better match for you, sis.
His annual salary is actually less than $14,000, though.
What do you mean?
Dan has already transferred the money into my account, hasn't he? Well then, I'll submit the divorce papers right away as promised. Please enjoy your new life with your low-income husband.
Excuse me? What are you talking about? I think you missed a zero by mistake. After all, Dan earns $140,000 a year, not $14,000.
Nope, there's no mistake. Dan's annual salary is $14,000. Well, actually, it's a bit less than that.
You can't be serious. What's all this about him only earning $14,000 all of a sudden? He's a top-class trading company employee. He lives on the top floor of a high-rise condo. There's no way Dan could afford to live there on $14,000 a year.
He's far from being a top-class trading company employee. Dan's just a regular office worker.
There's no way that's true. Dan told me himself. He said that he earns about $14,000 a month. If that's his monthly income, then his annual income should be at least $140,000.
Nope. Like I said, you're mistaken. Did Dan actually say it was his monthly income? He didn't, did he?
Well...
If you don't believe me, why don't you ask him directly?
No, you must be joking. Is this your idea of getting back at me? I mean, even if he doesn't earn $140,000 a year, Dan's already in his late 30s, right? Worst case scenario, he should be earning at least $70,000 a year, right?
What on earth are you talking about?
I mean, $14,000 a year? There's no way that's true.
The thing is, Dan's mother actually has dementia. For the past few years, Dan's had an extended leave from work in order to care for her. He ended up hurting his back because of it. As a result, his time off work was extended even further.
Seriously?
In any case, he's always at home and hasn't been going to work at all. That's why his salary is so low, despite almost being 40.
But he's been living in the top floor of a high-rise condo. Even if he has low income now, he should be able to earn more than enough if he works really hard.
That condo belongs to his mother.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I eventually had to say something to him since he never went to work. Dan was furious. He flipped out and said if I was so worried about where we were going to live, then we could just go live with his mother. After that, there was really no choice but to move into his mother's high-rise condo.
You've got to be kidding me. So you're saying that that place isn't Dan's? He just lives there with his mom?
Yes, exactly. You came there the day I had a fever, right? Dan's mother finally got accepted into her desired nursing home the day before. I must have been so relieved that I suddenly fell into bed exhausted.
So that's why Dan's mother wasn't there that day.
Now, if you don't mind, please take my low-income husband. I just got to the city hall and I'm about to submit the divorce papers. It probably won't take long for the divorce to be finalized. You can probably marry Dan by the end of the day.
I could ever marry him now? With a salary of only $14,000? Plus, I won't be living on the top floor of a high-rise condo? I'm going to tell him it's over right now.
Oh, really? I don't really care either way. Make sure to have a long talk with each other. Well then, take care.
Hey, Michelle. What did you say to Hannah? Out of nowhere, she's suddenly telling me that we should break up. Even though I paid you the settlement money. And even though you submitted the divorce papers.
All I did was resolve her misunderstanding. Hannah decided to break up with you all on her own.
What are you talking about? What kind of misunderstanding?
It seems that Hannah confused your annual income for your monthly income. So I corrected her.
Wait, what?
She thought that your annual salary was at least $140,000. She couldn't believe that it was only a paltry $14,000. She said that there was no way that she'd marry a guy with that kind of income.
Hey, you must be joking, right? I never once said anything about monthly income. I was open and honest about my situation. I was so happy when I thought she accepted me despite all that.
Then what about the condo? You didn't tell Hannah about that, did you? She seemed certain that it was your place.
Oh, well, about that. She was so in love with the condo that it made it difficult to tell her the truth.
Looks like both you and Hannah are to blame.
I can't believe it. I don't want to break up with her. We're in love with each other. Yet she wants to break up. This can't be happening.
Please leave me out of your lover's quarrel. Well then, bye.
Hey, sis! Sorry for making you worry yesterday. Dan and I made up and now we're married.
Huh? You really got married?
Yep. It was thoughtless of me to dump him like that. Even if Dan's income is low, there's still a huge inheritance waiting for him.
Oh, really? What exactly are you talking about?
Well, Dan's mother. She lived in such an amazing high-rise condo, didn't she? Which means she must have a huge fortune. So it will eventually pass down to her son, aka my husband.
Is that right?
Even if Dan's income is really low, I realize that as long as we have the inheritance, we can live problem-free. That's why we got married just now.
So what you're saying is, you married Dan in order to get his mother's inheritance.
Exactly! I've become the wife of a rich man. Dan's mother is in a nursing home now, which means that she probably won't last much longer. Then that inheritance will be all ours.
How could you say something so vile? Hasn't Dan said anything about this to you?
Not one word. To be honest, he's just so happy that I came back to him.
I can't believe you two.
Since Dan's mother is in a nursing home now, the first thing we need to do is change the name on the deed. Living in my own high-rise condo. My wish has come true. It was totally the right choice to marry him.
I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but that room is a rental. There's no deed for you to get your grubby little hands on. So write that out of your inheritance plans.
Excuse me? It's a rental?
Yep, that's right. Dan's mother has gone senile. That's why she rented a room in the top floor of the condo all by herself.
Huh?
Dan's mother has dementia. I told you, remember? While she was still living by herself, she used up almost all of her savings to rent that condo.
She used up her savings?
She paid for a whole year's worth of rent in advance. It seems like the realtor leased out the condo to her special. Once I realized, I tried to cancel the rental agreement. However, by then everything had already been finalized, so there was no way to get the money back.
Just give me a minute. There's just no way. So, Dan's mother doesn't own that condo? Dan never once said anything about it being a rental.
Maybe he couldn't bring himself to say it. Or maybe he never planned on saying anything at all. Curious, isn't it?
Wait. Then what about the huge fortune? Where's the inheritance that Dan's supposed to get?
I mean, she did spend almost all of her savings on that condo. And as for her remaining savings and pension money, it's going to be used up paying for her caregiving. I do believe that the inheritance you were hoping for might not exist.
No way! You're lying!
Why on earth would I lie about that? Ask Dan if you don't believe me.
I'm already asking him as we speak! This can't be real. It just can't. He said that he thought if he told me that the room wasn't really his, I would never have gotten back together with him. And that's why he couldn't tell me it was really a rental.
Well, it's true, isn't it?
Yeah, duh!
It seems like he was desperate to keep you from leaving.
This can't be happening. I thought I'd be living in a high-rise condo. That's why I married him. I even boasted to my friends that I married a rich man. But all along it was only a rental!
Just so you know, I think there's about 2 months left on the condo. Looks like you'll have to find another place in the next 3 months.
Are you serious? Only 2 months in my dream condo?
Make sure to enjoy your high-rise life as much as possible in the next 2 months. Well then, I wish you both a happy life. My younger sister Hannah soon told Dan that she wanted a divorce and she was going to threaten him for marrying her under false pretenses. She was really trying to force him to do it. But Dan argued that he never actually lied to her, he just didn't correct her assumptions. He kept dodging her questions, but eventually he admitted that there was no way that he'd accept a divorce. Dan promised he would work really hard to afford the apartment and that as long as he did that, she should have no reason to complain. He seems to actually be working really hard, but because of all the time off he's had, he hasn't been able to do his job well. There's a rumor that he's already on the short list of people the company might need to lay off. As for Hannah, since she already boasted about being the wife of a wealthy man, it seems that she's putting on airs so that the people around her don't find out the truth.